First and foremost, welcoming Ricardo to the call. He's our student spotlight for the week. Ricardo's been with me since the beginning, man. He was one of my very, very first students. He has been trying all aspects of real estate, whether it's from buy and hold rentals to wholesale deals to fix and flip to luxury Airbnb to rent by room. He's just been getting after it for the past, year and a half now, Ricardo. But before I take up all your glory, man, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? What did you do before this? How did you get into this? Fill us in, man.
Oh, absolutely. It's a journey. It's a journey for sure.
It has been.
Uh, I actually started, of course, I was doing military police. I was in the Air Force for 11 years. And then I have about maybe like 4 years left when I met you. And
Yeah.
I was like, I cannot do military police for another 10 years. There's no way.
Mm.
There's no way I can do this for sure. And then what the thing that I realized is I was listening to a lot of podcasts and people just saying, yeah, like only the top people and like rich, successful and all that, they're using the same model, which is real estate. So I was like, why not? And
Hmm.
when I say why not, I said, well, I just became obsessive. I really became obsessive of it, and I just realized that I was missing one thing, and one thing only is like I was deciding, hey, how long is it gonna take me to get what I want, which is freedom, either 5 years or I can just do a lot in 1 year.
Yeah,
And I choose the 1 year, which is
absolutely.
coaching. And then that actually took me to fast pace. I just literally copied your model, John, and then just literally did what exactly you told me to do, step by step, make the offers, make the connections, make the friends, and everything actually went down like a domino effect. And that's why I'm here. Yeah.
I love it, man. And yeah, you've kind of gone on this journey of like trying all asset or all facets of like real estate, whether it's wholesaling or Airbnb. Tell us a little bit about like, your Airbnb journey, why you went down that, or your long-term rental journey, why you went down that. Kind of fill us in on what your mindset was on just trying these different aspects of investing.
Yeah, yeah, good question. So the long-term rental happened just because it was almost like accidental, I guess so. It was my first rental. It was through my VA loan, and I decided to actually move out of that. I just realized that when I was with her, I was like cashing flow maybe like almost $400, and I was like, I really like this. But and then I did one with you in Memphis, another long-term rental, and I
Yep.
was cashing flow around $300. But I was
Hmm.
like, you know what? What exactly another model I can do so I can maximize my cash flow?
Hmm.
It was Airbnb. So the thing about that is like I went that route. I was going through a lot of meetings, real estate meetings in the local area. I was just pitching people around because I didn't have enough capital. I did not.
Yeah.
And I pretty much raised money for Airbnb. And then I got a person we became really best friends, and that was the person that did my first Airbnb with him in Vegas. And then we have another connection too, super awesome agent. He just do only do Airbnbs and he finds people, I'm sorry, investors that wants to invest in Airbnb in Las Vegas. And then the rest was history. We actually cash flow right now almost $2,000 on the first Airbnb. Yeah,
Yeah.
2,000, maybe a little bit more. Depends on the month. And but the only bad thing about that, it was like I kind of switched for Airbnb to Memphis back just because the restriction of Las Vegas, the really active thing that I need to look for the furniture, handle
Yeah.
everything, get the property manager in place. So it's just a lot of moving pieces. So it was consuming my time, and my time was super valuable, which I switched back to Memphis, and then I was looking for something in the middle. I was looking, how can I cash flow better than actually launcher rentals and actually minimizing my active time into invest in a property,
Yeah.
in investment, which is I found out this is gonna be rents by room. something in the
Yeah.
middle. I mean,
Love
it's
that.
yeah, does not cash flow as an Airbnb, but it's better than long-term rental, and that's what I'm doing
Yep.
right now.
That's awesome, man. Well, let's backtrack just a second because you brought
Yeah,
this up. You know, you wanted to get an Airbnb, but you knew to like kind of get into that luxury space, which is going to provide you the most cash flow. You weren't going to have the money to do that, right? You were just going to be able to write a check. So, like, what was that journey look like? Like, how did you go out? What were you saying to people to raise that money? How did you put all of that together? Kind of share with everyone.
yeah, good question. So it was kind of tricky the way that I did it. Yeah, I did use almost like a loophole on the investing side. I was approaching and I was targeting only military people because they had the VA loans. And I do have a
Nice.
VA loan too as well. So I was like, how can I make it a no-brainer for people to invest with me without using their own capital? And I was like, that would be a VA loan then. And
Yep.
that was my targeted people. I was like, hey, hey guy, like you don't need to put any dime, you don't need to do anything. I'm just gonna look for the property. I'm gonna look for the property manager. I will look for the furniture, and you just need to bring equity, and you just need to be a co-signer with me. That's all you need to do, and I will make it perfect for you. It's hands off, and then if you want to actually invest a little bit more, you can actually even put your the furniture side furnishing side too as well. And you're gonna have we're gonna be making more than $100,000 per year by only one
Yeah.
Airbnb. So
Yeah.
would you do you want to spend your own money or you want to spend your equity? Which one is it?
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome, man. That's
And then I make it really, really easy for them. And that's how I got the business partner. And I use his actually VA loan with a little bit of mine too as well. And then we actually found the property too. We did zero money down on the property as well. And we use credit card stacking to actually furniture the Airbnb too as well. So we didn't use any money at all at this
yeah.
point. So
That's awesome, man.
that's how I raised the money. It was a no-brainer for this to the right person for sure.
Yeah, that's so creative. So you basically targeted someone, someone in the military that you knew could use a VA loan with 100% financing benefit, and basically sold them on being your business partner. So they
Yeah.
would finance 100% of the property purchase, and then you guys could go in on obviously sharing the equity on the home, sharing the cash flow on the property, which is brilliant. So, it's a non-traditional private money lender, essentially, right? Somebody with a VA loan. That's super cool.
Yeah. That's how I get into the business for sure. It was a no-brainer. I was trying to help people too and I knew I couldn't do it by myself. I knew that.
Yeah,
So that's why
yeah,
I brought a business partner. Yeah.
that's awesome. What are you? Whoops, I think I'm a little slow right here. Can you guys hear me okay? For some
Yes.
reason, I was losing my. Okay, perfect. What fill us in. So you then went back to Memphis because you were trying, there's this time versus money, right? You wanted to make more cash flow than what you were getting from your long-term rentals. You
Mhm.
wanted to spend less time than what you were spending in Airbnb. So you found this middle road of like room split, right? Or pad split type deal. How have you been acquiring those properties? Kind of fill us in on what your model has been. Like it's been kind of a burr strategy and then just renting rooms individually. How does all that work?
I started to actually knew about that. It was through Passplay actually.
Hmm.
So I was working with them too as well. And I just found out that they were like really I don't want to like talk bad about them, but they have a lot of fees.
Yeah.
And then but I was like wondering, well, how can I save the fees but not actually put a lot of my time? I don't want to put any time at all. I'm trying to be an
Yeah.
investor. I'm trying to get the next property, not to figure it out if if the tenants are actually splitting their food in the fridge.
Yeah.
So I actually to backtrack a little bit, I found out about the whole strategy. It was through actually making connections with people.
Nice.
It was this guy who actually doing the same model that I'm actually trying to do too as well. He has about 20 laundry rentals, and
Okay.
he did it one by one per month on actually, well, not per month, like per year, and switching rents by rooms. And then he became very wealthy doing it. So I was,
Okay.
okay, so how can I copy this person because he's super successful at it? And I give it a try. I was like, okay, like let's do this. And I was start making more connections through Memphis on looking for a property manager that only focuses on rents by rooms. And I would
Yep.
reach into people, hey, like, what's your experience? What exactly you do? And I was really copying your questions that you gave us to, that
Yeah.
reviewing the right property manager. And I
Yep.
was shooting those same questions. And then I filter a lot of people. I even failed too multiple times, but I filter a lot of people. And then from there, we actually got into a an agreement that hey, like let's do this house first, and then let's actually get it together. I'll send in some money so you can get the furniture side, and it worked pretty great. Just because I was following your questions, and just because I was making that connections, that's how I became successful in that first investment. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. And kind of give us an idea, right? Is let's say your normal rental property, like if you were to long-term rent out a property in Memphis, for example, you would get $1,000 a month, but now you're getting $1,500 a month. Kind of break down what those numbers look like so we can kind of see what the upside is.
Yeah. So for the Memphis market, is very normal and it's very average to actually cash flow all the way to minimum $100, all the way to $300. That's a sweet spot in Memphis. That's a
Yep.
long rental. Section 8 is a little bit better. Of course, it's maybe like $200, $300 more, so equal to $500 of cash flow. Uh,
Hmm.
I know that because I tried that same model. And and then after I was doing the first investment, the property that I'm actually doing for rent right rooms,
Hmm.
just
Hmm.
because you can actually pull between 250 all the way $300 per week, you can actually maximize your cash flow into a thousand
Oh,
dollars
cash flow. Oh, wow. So cash flow per week is like $250 potentially. Yeah.
per room.
Per room. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Per room. And then so what does that equal like cash flow at the end of the month? So instead of like 3 or 500 bucks, where are we at cash flow at the end of the month?
Like 1,000.
Oh wow. So $1,000. That's awesome, man. That's huge. And you have a property manager that's like handling all of this for you and is like renting the rooms and getting all this done.
Yes. So her model that we actually that I got in an agreement with too as well is like she set ups literally everything from putting the cameras, putting the furnishing, getting the bills, the water, electricity, expenses, um, even sometimes the food that she brings over there too as well because sometimes there are homeless people. And after all the expenses, she will pay me between 250 to $300. Uh,
Okay.
and that's why I consider to pretty much like get into 1,000 cash flow just because I need to deduct only my mortgage and insurance,
Yeah.
TITI. And that will be equal around $1,000. So
Nice,
so
man.
she does literally everything. I'm not doing absolutely nothing. I'm not even putting my bill, not even the internet, nothing. She does
Yeah.
everything for me, and
She manages all that stuff for you. Cool. That's awesome, man. And what's so we've done long term, we've done short term, we've done, what our room split, which is awesome. What's next? What do you have on the docket? Is it just continuing to grow the room splits? Are you looking to do something else? What's next on the list for you?
Yeah. So just because I don't like to settle for less, you already noticed that.
Mm.
Uh, I'm actually looking into same things, kind of almost like the same model, but like in a different swagger. Uh,
Hmm.
is gonna be going through um nursing home. I'm sorry. So pretty much assisted living.
Yep.
That's what it's called. And the good thing about assisted living is like it's gonna be you're gonna be cash. I'm sorry, you're gonna be paid by room too as well, but you can maximize even more just because it's really high demanding area where Is it really high demand area in Memphis at all? Because there's a lot of people over there, boomers especially talking.
Yep.
They're actually looking for assisted living, and then and just because I
Yep.
have a nurse over there to display is insurance in place too, I'm getting
Yep.
paid not by exactly the person, but by the insurance through.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, usually like you can get state or city subsidies. You can obviously get paid through the insurance company as well too. So there's a lot of different options there as well. That's awesome, man. It's like Section 8, but a little bit higher level, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It's something that I'm not doing right now, but something that we actually visioning. We're gonna give it a try probably in the next like 3 months or so. We're gonna give it a try, see if it works. Most likely it will work, but we'll see.
I love it, man. I love it. Well, you've done so much in the last, what, year and a half, 2 years at this point in time. Fill me in, like what if you were to, give any of the newer students on the call or whoever like winds up watching this video is like, some advice as they were starting out, if you can remember back to when you were starting out, what's some good pieces of advice that you give them for success?
Yeah, man. Like it, it's kind of cliche to say this, but your network is your net worth.
Yeah, man.
Literally is that that's when I realized and that maybe like a few months back, maybe 8 months back, that the more connections that I make, the more wealthy I will become.
Yep.
Because literally majority, well not majority, but half of my properties are they're not owned by me completely. It's like 50% equity for another person too as well. But I'm still not actually making a great legacy. I know I have equity in those properties too. And every single
Yep.
time I get the next one, I'm actually doing something. I'd rather do uh a little pieces than actually doing big chunks because those big chunks they comes not that often. So yeah,
I know. It's like it's better to own 50% of something than 0% or 100% of nothing, right? Like that's the
yeah,
play there.
absolutely. And it takes longer. It takes way longer to actually do that because, for example, like the Airbnb that I have, the first one that I have, like it was all
Mhm.
right, like it was a smaller B&B with maybe not even barely cash flow or go bigger and then I have a pool, I have a really luxury and make a lot of cash flow. So it was a no-brainer going the big way, but I needed to actually bring a business partner into that. Same for the same for everything else, like property managers that I make connections with, the inspectors that I make connections with, uh, even Marcus too as well,
Yeah.
the credit card repair guy too as well. All those people, it's just because I met them in person, just because I stay in touch with them, just because I follow up with them too as well, just because I always trying to give them value too, and that's why I concluded on the first phrase is your network is your net worth.
Yep.
It's not making connections; it's about making friends, and all of this
Yeah,
in life.
exactly.
Yeah, every single.
And for you, like I know one thing, you were starting out, you were new, just like everyone else on the call for the most part. And I know some people are a little bit nervous reaching out to lenders or going and, creating contacts with private money lenders and doing all these things. Like what helped you overcome that fear of just getting out there and talking to people?
It's like telling. I kind of learned this like really many years ago. It's like yeah, man, you if you go to the club, you're gonna get a lot of no's, but only that the fifth or even the 10th girl is gonna say yes to you. Just think about this. It's just a numbers.
Yeah.
There we go again.
So it was kind of funny that I say it that way, but at the same time, it applies everything in life. Like it is just um that you need to get the notes. You need to find the notes because you always
Yep.
think this is gonna come next. The reality is it's hard to perceive, but and it's hard to take, but it must be done. You
Hmm.
need to actually go through the notes, and it's okay. Like you at the same time to actually get started and making the connections. You don't need to necessarily look for the note, but you should actually talk to someone so you can learn from that person just to be having curiosity about
Yep.
the person you always kind of learning something out of that. So if you come out with a curiosity kind of like person, hey, like let me get to know you. Let me see about you. Let me actually talk to you. Let me see if I can give you some value to you. Uh,
Yep.
I think that really helped me actually reach out to people and talk to them just because I was always curious about the other person. I was always
Yeah.
trying to see if I can help in any way rather than actually what exactly I can take for this person.
Yep.
And yeah, I think that will be a great mindset to have. That's the same mindset I have every single day too as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that, man. I mean, you're going into it with a genuine curiosity of wanting to learn about that person and what they have to offer and how you can, help them grow and expand, right? And ultimately that just comes back to you and you're creating a friendship, right? I always say real estate, no matter how technologically advanced we get and how much we can do from a laptop, right? Real estate's always going to be that relationship based kind of industry. And the more friends you have, the more success you're going to have. And you're just kind of proving that point. Now, what did you do to like start, like go out and find these people? Were you just going to meetups? Were you finding people online? Like, how were you kind of generating this network out of the gate to make those phone calls or make those connections?
Yeah, good question. So it was a little bit of everything. Mostly just because I was I was making promises to myself in the
Yep.
beginning. Like you I it was you who actually teach me this. Like makes a goal in the week.
Yeah.
How many people you're gonna reach out and how many events you're gonna go to so you can make a
Yep.
connection. So I was doing that. Uh,
Nice.
I was really making promises to myself, like, hey, I promised to myself that I'm gonna go to at least one event per week based on real estate, and I'm gonna reach out to at least three people in the whole week, and I'm gonna have a conversation, not to pitch, not to ask, just to have it. That's
Yep.
it.
Yep. Exactly. And that's so true. Like that's, it's starting these small goals, right? Your goal was eventually to own properties, right? But the first goal was I need to get in front of people, I need to have conversations, and that's where you started and you were genuine about that and ultimately that took you to being able to get the properties that you have now, right?
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly how the first person that I talked to it came out like that, like about the Airbnb, about about Memphis, about the property manager, all came down just because I have a genuinely conversation. It was not
Yep.
because I was looking for something out of them. It just because I was just curious about them. Hey, like, what do you do? What are you looking for? Um, how can I help you with?
Yeah.
And they just always spill the beans later on. They always do. And then I just tell them, hey, I know what you're looking for. I know what's your fear, and that's why I have this for you. So,
Yeah.
and that's how I frame it every single time. So at the end of the end is yes, always having the curiosity, and then always reach out to people just because not because you need them, just because you want to help them. That's all it is.
Yeah. And I think one thing that you found as you went through that process, and guys, this kind of speaks to maybe a fear that you're having is like, yeah, I want to add value, but how could I possibly add value to someone who's, you know, doing something that I'm not or what have you, you never know, right? Like I'm sure you were finding ways to add value that you had never guessed that you could add value to that person, right? You just have to be open to having that conversation and listening. And then at that point in time, seeing how you can maybe it's an introduction, maybe it's just, something completely non-real estate related that you can add value to. So, just be open to listening and being, humble about the conversation that you're having and you'll get there.
True, true. I was started like that too as well. Like instead of actually looking how can I give value to the person. Sometimes I even ask the straight question, "Hey, how can I help you with? What
Yep.
exactly are you missing in the business? Um, what is your biggest bottleneck? What's your hurdle into this week?"
Yep.
And then and even though if I cannot give any value, I can just come up with an idea. How can I make a connection for this person? How can I connect him to the person that I know that you might
Yeah, I
help?
love that.
So, so just because you cannot give value to the person does not mean that you cannot connect him to another person who may give him value.
Yep.
So if you think about those stuff, like you can be a connector too as well. That's very real in real estate. And
Yep.
I would encourage the people to actually always look for that side. Hey man, like I know you're starting off and I know for sure like you're trying to put value to people. You can connect them by
Yep.
actually.
The moral of the story is your network is your net worth. So get out there and start to connect with as many people as humanly possible. Now, with you being where you are now, Ricardo, and looking back, what's one or two pieces of advice that you could give yourself as you were starting out that you might want to do sooner or do a little bit differently? Anything that, you would say to yourself maybe 2 years ago and when you started on this journey that people should hear?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like just two things. Which is number one thing is like just this if you're not a student, I don't know if that's much gonna go somewhere else, but if you're not a
Yeah.
student, just think about this. How fast you want to get to the goal. You want to go to many years of pretty much going through a lot of pain and mistakes, or you
Yep.
want to get a shortcut and get there faster. That will
Yep.
be a coach. That will be a person who's gonna get you there and get you faster or just read a book and guess
Yeah.
the rest.
Right. Yeah. Get a book and try to figure it out on your own, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And then the second thing that I would tell to the actual students is when I was like started, I was a overthinker, analyst
Oh, I
person.
love this. Okay.
And then I was just always thinking about what about in 3 months what will happen? What about the LLC? What about the lender? When I don't even have a property. It didn't make any
Yeah.
sense. So
Yeah.
so, so I was like I literally learned this in the hard way too as well after getting it was a property that I realized that I always need to solve the problems of today. We cannot solve the problems of the future. Because
Yep.
if we do, we get overwhelmed and we get paralyzed and we don't do nothing. And we
Yep.
now even worse, we will quit because it gets overwhelming. So just be like Buddha, be in the present, be
Exactly.
right now, be solving the problems of today, not the future, not even the past. The past we don't pay for the past. We only pay for the future by by looking for the solutions of the present. That's it.
Yeah. I love that, man. Yeah. I mean, what's anxiety? Anxiety is worrying about a problem that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
Right. And, when you're worrying about a problem that doesn't even exist, that's stopping you from excelling or succeeding today. So that's super powerful. Solve the problems that are in front of you today, not the ones that might be there tomorrow, right? Like that's absolutely huge. I love that, man. Well, what's next? Are you I think we had talked about this a little bit earlier on the call. I think I love this dream. So your goal is to do this internationally. I know this is kind of the long term, like vision cast for us, what that looks like before we leave today.
Yeah, definitely. What I'm trying to do over here, I'm trying to grow a little bit more bigger when it comes to
Hmm.
state. So I can do the same thing back in my homeland, which is Puerto Rico. I'm very passionate about my place over there, just because there's a lot of opportunities over there, not only, but just because it gives me more purpose in life when I actually are from there. It means that I need to help those kind of people. So the same thing that I'm doing over here in the States, helping people
Yep.
actually affordable housing, and which I see that I can actually help them in different ways. I will focus my vision in the next like 2 years, maybe even less. It was to start the same thing that I already started over here back in Puerto Rico and do great. I'm actually my end goal is to pretty much be a bank over there too as well, so I can help people and to get into affordable housing too. So that's the vision for.
That's I love that, man. That's a super strong why. I mean, I know you have a lot of family that's pretty much most of your family's still back there, and you travel back there all the time and helping that community and everything there's a big driver for you. So, guys, that just goes to having a strong why, right? The whole purpose why he has gone through all these trial and error and tried these different things from short term to long term to, room split is just so you can find the secret sauce that's going to allow you to then get to Puerto Rico and make a difference there. So I love that. Well, man, before we hop off again, thank you. Any final words you want to leave for anyone? Anything else you want to say to make sure you get a message across?
Yeah, absolutely. So just pretty much look for the no's because it's always gonna be a yes later on.
I love
Just
it.
keep pressing, and then I hope to see everybody at the top.
Yeah, I love that, man. Hope to see everybody at the top. A mentor of mine said this to me one day. He's like, you hear the saying, being at the top is lonely. And if you're lonely at the top, that means you got there in the wrong way. Because if you got to the top and it's lonely, that means you didn't bring anybody along with you. So you got to bring people along with you. And if you do it the right way, then the top is not lonely, man. So I love that. Well, Ricardo, thanks again. Just so everyone who's on this call knows, Ricardo is one of our coaches inside the Rental Property Pro program. He has been an absolute rock star, as you heard today, all the things that he's been doing, growing, and he's opted to give back to the community and share his experiences and his coaching and all of his learning. So if you guys haven't, I highly encourage you to set up a coaching call with Ricardo. He's a rock star. And other than that, man, I really appreciate you taking the time. Congratulations on all your success. And I hope to see you do many, many more, man.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for actually listening. And
All
thank
right,
you,
good
John.
job.
Absolutely. I want to say thanks to John. If it was because of him, I wouldn't be here. So thank you.
Oh man, I appreciate it. Thank you. I just made sure you didn't make any huge mistakes. You did all the hard work, bud. But great job. I appreciate the shout out. And guys, have a fantastic Friday and weekend. Thanks again, Ricardo. I'll see you guys later. See ya.